Hello, 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 and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. My name is Raquel. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Today is Friday, and Fridays we have an interactive tarot in which we look at the energy forecast for the week or the advice guidance for this weekend, right? So, not week, weekend. So, we have the main message for the weekend as well as inside to Saturday and Sunday. So again, it is interactive, so you get to choose the deck or the fairy that calls you more. So we have the pink fairy, the blue fairy, or the yellow fairy. All right. So let's get started. I always recommend that you're in a place where you're either in this undisturbed or that you feel comfortable, right? So, like this, we can connect energetically. Now, roll those shoulders back and gently, if you can, move that neck from side to side. You can even wiggle a little bit your upper body to shake that energy. And now let's ground, center, and connect with the breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and gently exhale. Always elongating the exhale more than the inhale. If you can, you even double the exhale, and that releases tension, right? And if you feel that you have um, some unsettlement or like you are upset or anxious, remember that the breath is the easiest way to regulate us and ground our energy. So, taking those deep inhales and doubling that exhale out. All right, now intuitively pick the fairy that resonates with you. So we have the pink fairy, the blue fairy, or the yellow fairy. I wonder if you can see them better like this. Mm. Anyway, I'm trying new things here in front of you. So pick the fairy or the deck that resonates. All right, just intuitively. All right, let's get started with that pink fairy today and see what it has, what messages has for you for this weekend. All right, let's begin by setting the intention and telling the cards what it is that we want. So, we want guidance for our weekend. Please give us insight, advice for our weekend, and also insight to our Saturday and Sunday. In love and light for our greatest good. We always add that prayer of protection when we talk to Spirit. All right. Ooh, so we have one that already came out, and that would be our main guidance. Now let's look at Saturday. Saturday and Sunday. Here, straightforward. One card for each. All right, so we got the main advice comes from the Six of Swords, right? So swords. So here we have the air element, right? And the air element has a lot to do with our thoughts and communication. Now, the advice this card is telling us is that it's time to move forward and to move away from that could be any arguments. So think about if there are any arguments that you've been having or that you've just recently had with somebody. And they, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, when we have an argument, it deeply affects our energy, right? So depending on how sensitive you are at the moment or even your general sensitivity and depending of how or what words were used in that argument, it can make you feel depleted afterwards, right? Tired. It's an emotional exhaustion, right? So these card suggests moving forward, being able to move away and to move away from arguments. So if you just had an argument, this card says, you know what, move from this type of energy. So that could be, creating physical distance with the person, have time for, if you live with the person, just take time for yourself, take time for like that healing time, right? For self-care and just uh, letting that energy settle and move away from it right now. So create physical distance or emotional distance, at least to heal, right? If you're like, oh, well, I haven't had any arguments, then think of this card as a protective message coming your way that tells you, do not engage in arguments this weekend. The main message is to move past it, to really move past any arguments or dense things and just say, it's time. I'm moving forward. I'm not entertaining this type of energy at this time. All right. So here we have the main advice. And what about for Saturday? And Saturday, who answers our call is the King of Swords. So you have a lot of swords here. That's uh, what I'm sensing is a lot of communication things that are in the air for you with this air element. Now, the King of Swords is a masculine energy, but it is one that knows how to communicate, right? When we think of the King of Swords, we think of this presence of somebody who is really in charge of how they communicate, that they can translate their thoughts into words and communicate very well. So this king brings this type of advice to you for Saturday. So he would tell you on Saturday, right, that to make sure that you focus on on your communication, how you communicate your thoughts, your needs, right? And this king is assertive, right? Um, and how I'm gonna put it, it's kind of he is able, if you see him with a sword sometimes, he's able to cut through rubbish, through things that are not needed. So it's practical, it's logical, it's to the point, it's assertive, right? So this king does not have a lot of emotionally charged conversations. And this is the advice here. Be assertive, communicate well, communicate your thoughts and your needs, but it's not about having emotionally charged conversations. And it makes sense if you look at the main message for your weekend, because it says, walk away, move on from arguments. So, and those arguments sometimes come from emotionally charged conversations. So, this king says assertiveness, be direct, be logic, be practical, but no emotionally charged in the way you talk. All right. Now, Sunday. On Sunday, we have redemption. Interesting. And this is Major Arcana 20. That is the judgment card of the Major Arcana, right? And what does this Major Arcana card tell us about Sunday? So, first, we do the double knock because it's a Major Arcana, so it brings a more impactful advice. All right. So the judgment card is usually a call for us to look at important lessons or important things that we have learned and or that have just happened or in the past, and it says, okay, it's time to again move on, but in the sense of you're taking a lesson with you. So this card would be asking you to reflect, what is an important soul lesson that you can think of that you've learned lately? Like if I asked you this question, if I was sitting in front of you and I asked you, what's an important lesson for your soul that you think you've learned lately, right? What is something that maybe you learned from a challenge, from a relationship, from work? What is that has really impacted you? So this card just tells you take this lesson, right? Remember it and move forward, just like this Six of Swords says. But it's important to remember this lesson. So when you answer this question right now, remember this lesson as you move forward, as the energy of the weekend moves forward. It's an important lesson for you to remember. All right. I hope you liked your. This is like a fast reading for your weekend message. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share the message. So it's mostly about moving away from arguments this weekend, from situations that feel dense. On Saturday, really focus on your communication, on really staying true to what you need to say with assertiveness and being direct and logic, but not engaging in emotional charged conversations. And Sundays is saying, really, it's time to reflect on about a very important soul lesson that you may have learned lately, and keep it in mind as you move forward and your energy towards goes into the week. All right. If you want us to look more in depth at your particular situation, please reach out and make an appointment for a private session with me, or also for a pre recorded reading, whatever is best. If you have any questions, reach out or leave me in the comments below. Now, let's look at this blue fairy for those of you who picked this one. All right, let's look at the messages that come from this cute little deck. All right, okay, let's move it around a little bit and let's set the intention. Please give us guidance and advice for our weekend. The main advice, the advice for Saturday, and also any guidance for Sunday. In love and light for our greatest good. And so it is. Let's get, ooh, already one wanted to jump out. So I honor it and I leave it out. See if any other wants to come out. Yes. So look at this. We got three as the main message. I think it's important to honor any that want to come out, even if we shoot for one. Now, Saturday. Saturday, too. Talkative deck today. And let's look at Sunday. Sunday 1. All right. Let's look at the main message and who answers the call. And we have the Eight of Pentacles supported by the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So a lot of Pentacles. That is the earth element. And the earth element is, think about it, of anything that you can see, touch, right, or feel. So that's the physical aspects of your life, right? The material aspects. So think about it this way. So, what is, for example, the Eight of Elements, that is that energy of the eight, and the earth element bringing, right? So the Eight of Pentacles is a card that shows not only achievement but hard work, right? So the Eight of Pentacles, it's advising you not to give up on anything that you've been putting a lot of effort in, right? It is saying keep working towards your goals, keep doing things towards those dreams that you have. And only you can answer what is your dream right now? What is that desire that you have right now of something that materializes in your life, something that you want to come into your life, to that you want to attract it, you want to build it, you want to manifest it, that you want it set in your life. And that could be anything that you are actually bringing into life, right? Or you're working towards. So it could be a project or a work goal, or it could actually be to manifest a relationship, or to manifest that you want to a new home, or to move, or anything that you are wanting to bring into your life. And it's so this card is that card that says keep working at it, right? keep moving forward and making sure that you do not give up. Do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on what you want, right? So, this is what the Eight of Pentacles wants you to know. So, the first important thing is to center yourself for a second and say, what do I really want? Or what have I really been working towards, right? And then how can I stay motivated for this, right? And the Two of Pentacles, that it is a card of sometimes balance and decision, right? Making sure you are making the right decisions, right? So the Eight of Pentacles says, do not give up, keep going. And the Two of Pentacles says, you may have to make some decisions. You may have to understand that your energy needs to be directed towards this thing that you want. Do not be afraid to make hard decisions. It is important for you to create or to attract this dream that you want, right? And the Five of Pentacles is also bringing another message related to all of this, that is not to dwell on a scarcity mindset, right? So if anything that you've been, just put it here so you can see them. So anything that you've been wanting or that you've been putting effort in, is saying, do not give up. Keep putting your effort, keep trying, right? And don't give up. You may have to make hard choices, but do not be afraid to do so, right? Anything that helps you or motivates you towards to keep going through what it is that you want in your life. And any thought that comes in that tells you that's not possible, you cannot do it, that's never going to happen, this is what the Five of Pentacles says. Do not believe it. That's a scarcity mindset. That's a fear thoughts that are stopping you. If there is something you want or something that you're working towards, right? There is a reason why you want it. Do not easily give up just because of negative thoughts or maybe difficult decisions, right? This card is saying keep going, right? You may either achieve your exact goal or by keep working on what you want, keep going forward towards your dreams, you may achieve something even better or something that is not what you wanted, but what you needed. So, motivation here, right? These cards are giving you motivation for this weekend. Um, to not give up. Now, for Saturday, so Saturday we're changing from the earth element into the water element, and we have the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups, right? And what is the Nine of Cups, the spirit of the Nine of Cups telling us, right? And the Nine of Cups here is emotion, is intuition, right? And the Nine of Cups is calling for Saturday to feel more grounded emotionally and connect intuitively, right? And it's saying any any signs, any messages that you receive intuitively on Saturday, take action towards them, right? So the main message is not to give up on the things you want this weekend, but Saturday, especially, be attentive to any intuitive insight, right? Guidance and messages, and take action towards that, So move forward with whatever that intuition calls you to do. Now, what about Sunday? Sunday, we have the Tower. So, Major Arcana, and the Tower, it's a scary card many times, but remember, there are not good or bad cards in the tarot, right? And more how we use it here. So we use it for advice and guidance. And what is the Tower telling you, right? The Tower is telling you that there is something that requires change. And for you, it says, do not be afraid of changes right now. If there is, what is a change that you see happening around you, around your life right now? And is saying, do a very important exercise at this time. Instead of being afraid of anything that you see that is changing right now, anything that is has either changed or is about to change. Um, One good exercise at these times is to make a list or to journal about all the possible positive outcomes that this change may bring. So instead of we focusing on what scares us, what's that fear, or what's the negative things that can happen, no, train the brain to see all the positive outcomes it could have, right? Because what happens is that when we are just zeroed in, like tunnel vision onto anything that's negative, and we're holding on to that fear, sometimes that's what we attract, or that's the only things we can see. But we train the brain, we train ourselves to focus also on the positive or on the possible positive outcomes that it could have. And then we may attract that, and we raise the vibration um, that we have, that we feel better, we attract better. All right. So, main message, do not give up on anything that you want right now. Do not let a scarcity mindset or self doubt set in, and do not be afraid to make hard choices. On Saturday, intuition will be heightened. So, pay attention to any intuitive insights and take action towards those messages you get. Make sure to follow that intuition. On Sunday, is asking you, the tower, to examine any changes that are occurring, and it's telling you, don't be scared. Start focusing on all the positive those changes can bring. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. All right, and if you want us to look more in depth at your personal situation, what you're going through, please remember to reach out and book your online session with me. That can be done over the phone or video, or get a pre recorded reading. And as always, just to reach out if you want more information. I love answering any questions that you may have. Okay, let's look at the last deck and the last fairy. That is our yellow fairy right now, for those of you who picked this one. Okay, let's move the cards a bit and let's ask them to tell us, set the intention, and let them know what we want, right? Ask them messages and insight for our weekend, especially for Saturday and Sunday. So, the main message for our weekend, the message for Saturday, and the guidance for Sunday, in love and light for our greatest good. All right. All right. Main message, Saturday. All right. One jumped out. And Sunday. All right. So, very straightforward. Let's go with the main message. And who answers our call? It is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, air element again, those five, that the fives are usually those changes, right? Sometimes seen as struggles. So, what is this five telling us? Right, remember, air element has to do with our thoughts, our intellect, and our words. And this is the card that for the weekend is, choose your words wisely, right? Your words have the power to hurt others, to destroy relationships, or they have the power to build, to create rapport, to create close relationships. So this card is advising you to choose your words wisely right now, right? So I would advise for you to pause um, after certain conversations, or even when you're talking to somebody, just pause for a second and think your response, think through your response, right? And think about, is are my words gonna wound somebody? Are they gonna hurt somebody? Right? What what is my intention with my words, right? And so use them wisely at this time and think things through before you speak. Um, Making sure we are not hurting anybody in the process. But even though it's important to stay true to ourselves and what we need to say and what we're thinking at the same time, remember your words are powerful. So they can build a relationship or they can destroy it. Now, let's look at specifically for Saturday. What's the guidance? And here we have the 10 of Wands. So we move from the air element into the fire element. And the 10 of Wands is this card that denotes exhaustion, right? Carrying a lot. And um, and the advice here for Saturday specifically is on Saturday, put down the load, right? Ask yourself, what am I carrying right now? What feels exhausting, right? Anything in your life that right now feels truly exhausting, just to carry it. It could be responsibilities from work, responsibilities from your family. It could be a relationship, anything that right now feels exhausting to you. And ask yourself, how can I put the load down? What can I do on Saturday just to feel lighter, to feel more connected to myself in a way that I'm not caring so much. Maybe there is something that you can delegate. Maybe there are things that you need to do at home this weekend that you can say on Saturday, I'm going to delegate. I'm going to ask somebody else for help, right? Maybe letting go of the load you carry means taking the entire Saturday for self care and not to think about anything. Maybe it's about doing something fun, right? And just letting go. So on Saturday, let go of what feels heavy right now. Either delegate or take time just for yourself. And what about Sunday? And swords again. Look at that. It's not a major arcana, so I knocked, but I was just meaning to say that it's swords again. So swords, right? And here is you have an opportunity. This is an opportunity that's being brought to you. That's usually the Ace of Swords, but this is an opportunity that comes with. With saying you have the opportunity to have an important conversation right now, right? To get clarity on something. So, what is an important conversation that has been on your mind right now? And that goes very linked to this using your words wisely, right? So maybe there is an important conversation right now that needs to be had. So Sunday would be the day the tarot advises you to have this conversation, keeping in mind the main message that is choose your words wisely, right? And make sure you set the intention for what you want to do, uh, so nobody gets hurt in that conversation. If you cannot think of a conversation right now that needs to be had and you're like, well, I'm not sure, then pay attention on Sunday to any thoughts that come in that that are thoughts that are igniting you to do something, because those thoughts are an opportunity. So any thought that, like, let's say, for example, I'm getting a thought to start this project, or I'm getting a thought to call this person, or I'm getting a thought to, this is just, it's an opportunity. Stay open to any of these thoughts, or this Sunday would be a beneficial day to have an important conversation. All right. So, if you liked your reading, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also share this video. Remember as well that this is a general reading, it's a collective reading. So, if you want us to look more in depth at your particular situation, I offer live sessions with me that can be done virtually, remotely from anywhere in the world, and you can do them over the phone or via video call or even chat if you want, as well as pre recorded readings that get sent directly to your email. All right. And hit that subscribe button, because, like this, you get the notifications for all the videos that I post during the week, as well as those daily shorts, so you do not miss anything. All right. Well, thank you once again for being here. Please comment below what deck did you pick, and reach out if you want any type of information about my services. It's a pleasure to serve you. Have a fantastic and wonderful rest of your week. Brightest blessings.